Dear students of grade 10 Federal Board of Intermediate and Secondary Education, welcome to all of you. Our today's lecture is on the topic of English paper and the section C, question number 6, that is from board paper of Federal Board of Intermediate and Secondary Education, grade 10. So our today's topic is using appropriate transitional devices. First of all, I would like to tell you that what is a transitional device. Transitional device are the words that are used to connect ideas, thoughts, paragraphs, sentences for making the coherence or transition or connection or relevancy in the text or communication. That's why we use transitional devices. So this topic is from the paper that you have seen right now on your screen, and the marked question, that is red marked question there, I marked there that the paper you have seen on your screen right now, same paragraph is mentioned here. And in today's lecture we will learn that how we have to put appropriate transitional devices in the given fields in our exam of annual paper, English paper, annual examination, Federal Board of Intermediate and Secondary Education. So this is important question, and most of students have a lot of queries about putting appropriate transitional devices, because they don't know what is the sense, what is the use of appropriate transitional devices, and what are the kinds that are necessary to keep in mind while we use appropriate transitional devices in the given fields in the given paragraph. So here we are going to start, and the same topic here is given that you have seen in the paper mentioned, and the same transitional devices here are given we are going to use. And today we will learn that what is the use and what is the sense of these transitional devices, and what is the order. Main point is order, in which order we have to use appropriate transitional device in the given fields here. So let me start. The topic is starts from my father was in need of money dash moral support. So the transitional device number 1 will be and. Number 1 will be and. So why we use and? What is the use of and as a transitional device? And is used for addition of two ideas. So here is the addition of two ideas because he need of money and moral support. So moral support is added with money, so that's why we used transitional device and. Second transitional device is because. Second transitional device is because. First transitional device is used as an addition, and we used and second device is because is used for reason, because is used for reason as a transitional device. That's why we use because. That was a reason. What was the reason? Moral support, because he had suffered losses in the business. So this was the reason he needed money and moral support. So we use because as a reason in terms of transitional device. Third transitional device we will use here, he was in trouble. So third transitional device will be therefore. So what is the use of therefore as a transitional device? So we will use therefore as a result. This was the result of lending money from his friend. because he suffered losses. So in result, he requested his friend to lend him some money. This was the result. So we use therefore as a result. This is a transitional device number 3 that we put here in this field. And the fourth, he requested his friend to lend him some money. Or fourth is for transitional devices or. So what is use of or as a transitional device? For option. For option, when we make comparison in terms of option between two ideas. First is money, second is any other way. So there is a comparison in term of option. So here we use optionally or. So this is transitional device number 4. A system in any other way. Transitional device number 5 will be however. So what is the use of however as a transitional device? What is the use of however as a transitional device? The use of however as a transitional device is contrast between ideas, contrast between thoughts, between paragraphs, between sentences, between two ideas. So here we use however. So what is the contrast here in this context? So here, assist him in any other way, however he was shocked. So what he expected for help, and what was the result? There is a contrast between what he got from there, what was the result, and what he expected. There is a contrast between expectation and the result. He expected some help by his friend, but he was shocked that his friend supported him neither financially. So this is the result, that his friend didn't help him in any sense. So this is the contrast, what happened with him and what he expected. What happened with him and what he expected. This is contrast. That's why we use however. And the last transitional device will be nor. Device will be nor. Why we use nor? We use nor as a transitional device in terms of two negative ideas. A relation between or connectivity between two negative ideas. That's why we use nor. So this is the appropriate use in sense of transitional device. Dear students, you learn transitional device in sense of its function, its role, its use. What is the role? Either the role is reason, result, addition, option, contrast. So we need to learn transitional device while using its sense, its function, its role. Then we will be able to learn transitional devices and put appropriate transitional devices in appropriate fields. Thank you so much.